Nick Carter from Backstreet Boys.
Shout out to Boy Band Break.
It's Chris Kirkpatrick here. Shout out to your podcast, Boy Band Break.
Everybody, this is Howie D, and I'm listening to Boy Band Break.
Hi, Ashley Parker Angel here. Huge shout out to the Boy Band Break podcast.
This is Brad from LFO, and you are listening to Boy Band Break.
Hey, what's up? This is Jacob.
What's up? It's Dan.
What's up? It's Trevor.
And it's Eric Michael, and it's time for Boy Band Break, baby. Let's go!
Bam, 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 bam.
Welcome back to Boy Band Break, where we encourage you to take a break from your day and join us in some boy band conversation. As always, my name's Diane.
I'm Chinzia.
I'm Sophia.
And I'm Lydia, aka Mama Lou.
And we're back.
Yes.
We're back. Woo!
Sorry, I have to
How do you guys like our new intro? Yes. So Lydia's husband Kenny has made it. It has all the clips of our boy banders that
the
have
shout-outs?
shouted us out over the years. We got Nick Carter. We got Chris Kirkpatrick. Howie D from the Backstreet Boys, the guy from
Astley Parker Angel.
I was going to say Ashley Parker Angel.
All of O-Town. So
yeah.
all of O-Town.
Technically all of O-Town with Ashley. So yeah.
Ashley was separate. But
yeah.
Yes.
Thank you so much, Kenny.
Yes. So that is very exciting. We also hit a new milestone here. We hit over 600 subscribers. So that is amazing.
Woo-hoo!
Keep subscribing and telling your friends. We would love to hit 1,000 before the end of the year.
400 to go so we can monetize, baby. Please. Also, we work too hard at this. Come on.
Our Drake video is at over 200,000 views. So that's
pretty exciting. Thank you, Drake.
Drizzy.
And then we also have some videos from just the Backstreet Boys. We had AJ's new Smoke, which was just released. So before it was released, we had that song up there.
That was fire, by the way.
I have not put the... Yes, that is... What do you think of AJ's new song, Smoke?
I watched the video, and I liked the video. The butt cheeks, beautiful, fantastic. It was more like very burlesque-y kind of lingerie.
You know what? Yes, it was very burlesque lingerie.
Yeah. And then there was like some sort of like
there was
angry...
a little bit of controversy there because people are like, that's not a regular Backstreet Boys thing. And I'm like, have you guys been to the Vegas show? Because I'm pretty sure some of those dancers were dressed like that.
Yeah, they're just like, oh, what do your children think? And they're like, the children are fine.
So yeah, that's what Michelle had to put out a statement saying the children are fine. We're good with women.
Was Rochelle in the video? Because I was looking for her, and I'm just like, I don't recognize her ass anywhere. Not that I know her ass.
No, it was not. But anyways, they're saying, every family is different, and you're learning to embrace your body and things like that. So that was kind of what it was about. It wasn't like, I don't know, but I feel like the song is very
super
catchy.
Tame in comparison to like Anaconda. Like it was fine. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, wow.
So you know what? It's not everyone's cup of tea. And when you do a solo project, then you're going to try different things. Like AJ's tried the country route.
Yeah.
This is more of a, what would you say the kind of music style this would be?
Funky? It wasn't
country.
Some people were comparing it to like Harry Styles.
Yeah.
There was another one that they compared it to. I can't remember. Prince.
Prince.
Yeah.
You're welcome.
So yeah. So I don't know. Catchy song. Good stuff. Nick is supposed to have a new song coming out soon. Sometime. Whenever.
Time. He wrote it on the Instagram and then took it off, and who knows now.
But if you would like to hear that song, you can also check out our YouTube page because we have that from when he performed at Vogue Rogue Bar. So we have that from the after party. And I'm not sure if I put it up yet, but we're going to have a few videos from the New Kids on the Block concert.
Woo!
So check our page for that. But yes, that I believe will be our topic today. The New Kids on the Block Mixtape 2022 tour.
Nice.
Wonderful.
All right. So Diane and I were lucky enough to go see it in Buffalo on July 17th. So,
is this the one that's
okay. So we had already our friend Josh had tickets for Toronto. And
Josh
might
has
have had some extra tickets, but he wasn't sure and whatever. And then it ended up getting pushed back a month for unknown reasons. And we're like,
wait.
So, okay.
But you could probably guess what it was.
Toronto was the only Canadian date. And it was pushed back. And it said, it'll be next month. So a bunch of his teacher friends couldn't go because they had graduation that day or whatever. So we were going to go as well and buy those tickets. Or we were actually hoping to get cheaper tickets because, as you know, things go by. But like the Toronto show was like pretty much sold out. So, and the shows before and the shows after in the States were still happening. So we're like, that's really weird that this one date. So then I made a comment on Facebook, Twitter, being like, sounds like somebody's not vaccinated and they need to get vaccinated because, again, the Canadian border still needs this. And then people like rip me a new asshole. How dare you spread rumors? Blah, 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 blah. And I was like, okay, that's fine. Whatever. So then we're getting close to this second date. So we're like, okay. So then Lydia and Sophia, we're probably going to get tickets to go see them in Toronto. And then less than a week before they posted this. 1 second.
Share the tab. Share the tab. Everyone loves to share the tab.
Toronto blockheads. Due to circumstances out of our control, it is unfortunately impossible to present our show in the way it was intended. Therefore, we will not be able to bring the Mixtape tour to Toronto. We hope to be back as soon as we can, and we look forward to seeing you on the road soon. So, to me, that kind of sounds like someone's not vaccinated. But then this, and again, it doesn't necessarily mean it's one of the new kids. A lot of people were throwing Donnie out because of the whole Jenny vaccine thing, but it literally could have been like any of the opening acts as well, right? Because, you know, the show, the way that this Mixtape tour is set up, it's not like opening acts and then new kids. Like it's interspaced between it. So we're going to go through the set list and stuff.
Okay.
But so it might have messed up the scheduling. I don't know. But that's the only explanation they gave. So then someone's like, oh, the Scotiabank Arena, you know, can't handle the power of this tour and stuff. And I'm like, the Scotiabank Arena is one of the largest venues in Toronto.
And the newest venues.
One of the newest venues in Toronto, and definitely has enough power to do it. In fact, New Kids have done their show there before. So when we went to Buffalo, we're like, oh, okay, well, maybe this is just going to be some amazing laser light show spectacular. No, it was just like a regular show. So, you know.
So they lied.
Just say that, but I guess whatever. Anyways, it is what it is. Diane and I were still able to go to the show. We bought $25 tickets when Ticketmaster was doing that like cheap ticket week. With Josh, our friend Josh was also supposed to come, but his passport wasn't in, so he couldn't cross the border.
Is it still not in?
It is still not in. It's been over 8 weeks. He still has not received it. So it's a very huge backlog because now that we're allowed to travel, everyone's trying to renew their passport. So so there was that. So we're like, okay, well, it is what it is. So we did that. So we kind of went for the day, did some shopping and stuff. It was nice to see that. And then, so now we'll fast forward to the concert. So I was like, our seats were like super nosebleed, right? Because we got like the cheap tickets. But I was looking at the Buffalo seats and only about half of the venue was sold, which is surprising. And they did end up giving like a special discount code for Canadian people who could go to the Buffalo show. Yeah. But again, you'd have to have your passport. You have to be vaccinated. Because the States has the same rules that Canada has. So anyway, so we get there, and I had tried to call to see if we could get an upgrade for better seats. So then we get there, and I go to the box office, like, hey, is there any way we can upgrade our seats? Like, no. You have to sell them and then whatever. I'm like, okay, well, I'm not selling them now because the concert's about to start. So we're like, whatever, it is what it is. We've been in the nosebleeds there before. So we go through and the guy scans our ticket. He's like, oh, you guys are in the 300s. We're like, yeah. He's like, the 300s are closed. I'm like, okay. And
you're not allowed to sit here.
He's like, just go see that table at the top. So we're like, okay. So we go up and then they like upgraded us to 100 level. Not even 200 level, 100 level.
That's good.
So that was pretty good. It was like,
oh my God,
15th row or whatever, but it was still pretty good. And then I ran into my coworker Aiko, who I have not seen in like 2.5 years because we've been working from home. So that was exciting.
Aiko.
So that was fun. We tried out some pizza rolls because we're like, ooh, what's a pizza roll? Like, and there was no pictures of it. It was essentially, what is that? Like a wonton wrapper?
Oh yeah, they do that now.
And then
I saw that picture.
They called it a pizza log, and I was pizza log. And I was expecting a log of pizza.
That would make sense.
Like maybe you kind of roll it up or whatever.
Like a slice of pizza rolled is what I was imagining.
Yeah.
So instead it was almost like a spring roll with pizza in it. So it had like this gigantic pepperoni and then some sauce and some cheese. It was not bad, but it was also like, they had good chicken fingers though. So we're just like, yeah, we're chilling, we're good. So then then it was showtime.
How do you screw up a chicken finger, right?
Really?
Okay, never mind.
There's sometimes people can do that.
Yes, you're right. My bad.
I didn't think if there was anything else before the show. That was pretty much it, right? Like, yeah, there was nothing exciting.
Nothing worth mentioning.
All right. So I went to go find the set list online, but apparently the one for our show was not uploaded.
Okay.
But the previous show was, and it's the same show the entire time. So the other acts, so it was New Kids on the Block, Rick Astley.
Never gonna give you up.
Yes, there was En Vogue, and then Salt and Pepper. So yes, so they had a main stage, and they have this thing. This is really cool. One of these days when I win a lot of money, I would like to do this. So it's called the bar stools. They actually have these bar stools, and it just lines the entire stage. And like you're just front row on this like stool type thing, which is great. And then you get a lot of interaction with the guys and stuff, and nobody's in front of you, whatever.
Nice.
I think that also includes the meet and greet, right?
Yeah, if you buy, it's part of a meet and greet package. So all the New Kids like meet and greet packages include a ticket to the show, but it's just like based on what level you pick, how close you'll be. So if you buy like the cheaper ones, you're going to be like further back. But if you buy like the bar stool, I don't think it's called a bar stool package. It's called like something, but
Ultimate
the top package, whatever it's called, it includes bar stool seating. So you get so you literally get a seat that's like right up against
the stage. And people are not pushing on you because you're also like, I think
they're barricaded in. So I think it's like, you know how like a lot of the times it's like stage and then there's like a gap and then there's like a barricade and then there's front row. I think you sit in there. I'm not 100% sure though. And it might differ venue to venue. But it seemed like that's where they were sitting. Like they were like inside
this little like area, and then they don't have to worry about people pushing against them. You don't need any.
Because even the people that were in that party pit that's around the B stage, they were inside the barricade as well.
Yeah. Yeah, so that's what they did. So they had this thing, and on the map, it just looked like the little party pit was in front of the B stage. So the B stage is on the other end, and it's smaller, right? It's just like a square. Whereas the one in front is obviously like your normal dick-shaped stage with like the little
as is tradition.
But anyways, but
as
Diane said, it was like they were almost in like a little gate area, and it was just kind of surrounding it, and it didn't look like they oversold it. Like it looked like
it pretty much like it looked like enough people to be like one person deep around the entire stage, maybe on the one side. Because I think on the one side there's like a bar or something there where they can like get drinks during the show. Yeah. So one side might have been like a little bit bigger than all the other sides.
So tasty.
Yes.
But
it was nice. Like if whatever. So I'd also like to preface the fact that I, and I'm assuming Diane as well, are a little bit of concert snobs when it comes to seating.
I only am when it comes to the Backstreet Boys. I don't really care about other.
I'm just like, I need to be close and I need to get like eye contact and stuff. It's funny. There's these memes going around now with, like the Little Miss characters, like Little Mr. Men and whatever. And it's like Little Miss must be front row at I'm just like, yeah, it is what it is. That's me.
Wasn't there like Little Miss NSYNC?
That's another one going around too.
That's very popular right now. The Little Miss things,
I guess it's just a meme going around right now. But anyway, so we were a bit farther away. So I feel like I get a little bit disconnected from concerts when that happens. But we were obviously closer than we would have been if our original.
She didn't fall asleep. I feel like maybe if we were in the 300s, she would have fell asleep. But
I was very tired as well. Yes. Okay.
You're always tired.
I only slept at how many concerts? 2-ish. Was it only 2?
That I caught you at. I don't know.
Okay, I don't know.
Oh, if you caught her at 2, then it's 3 because she definitely also fell asleep at the Jonas Brothers concert.
Yes.
Oh, right. Yes.
Maybe one.
But I woke up at Burning. It's when I don't know the song as well. I feel like that if I'm
it puts you to sleep.
Listen, it's just relaxing to be in this venue.
So relaxing.
The other one was the Hanson
surrounded by
Christmas.
strangers who breathe germs. Yeah.
And the seats are just so comfortable.
The Jonas Brother concerts, first of all, we were in the 300, and second of all, we were behind the stage, so we also didn't see a lot.
Why didn't even sell you that ticket? So dumb.
Who knows? But it was sold out. It was like,
But it was $50, and the Jonas Brothers tickets are definitely not $50. So
I guess.
I don't know. I don't know. Maybe
you get what you pay for.
Exactly.
Yeah, true.
It was. We were like, oh, they have a screen for us, and it wasn't. It was a screen for the people watching because everything was like back, but at least it was like
inverted.
It was a see-through screen, so we could see them like in mirror form.
Butt cheeks, at least.
And we could see when they were running backstage to change. We couldn't see them change, but we could see them like go backstage and stuff. So
missed opportunity.
Missed opportunity indeed. So anyways, okay, so let's look at the New Kids.
Speaking of which, though, that show was at Scotiabank Arena, and I would like to remind everyone that the Jonas Brothers are on a little platform that comes up and over their entire stage and then comes down as like a roller coaster.
Yeah.
But, our outdated electrical system cannot handle
And if I'm not
confetti cannons of New Kids.
If I'm not mistaken, they also had at the Jonas Brothers approximately 10 to 12 wavy inflatable guys.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Those also take power.
They do.
And they worked. So
yeah.
So whoever was like, oh, this is what I heard. I'm like, no, you misread this
incorrect.
thing. And that is not what the reason is. It has nothing to do with. They're like, all of these concerts are being canceled at Scotiabank. I was like, no,
they're not.
The Rogers Center canceled a concert because Rogers
We had a blackout.
and all the Rogers customers for minimum of one day, if not for a few days, had no TV, internet, cell phones, any of that stuff.
Indirect debit was down, and that was the only
Everything.
It
was crazy.
No, the other ones are cashless too, but they still work. Like Scotiabank Arena worked through that. And,
really?
Yeah.
No, Scotiabank said, and Budweiser both put out things that said no interact. So no cash and no interact. You could only pay with a credit card.
Wow.
But they still let people in and did the tickets and stuff. And
Fair
Rogers said, so anyways, so again, that didn't affect Scotiabank Arena when that happened.
Yeah.
That still happened.
That sucks.
And I guess somebody was like, oh, there's so many things that have canceled. I'm like, the only other ones that have canceled were Justin Bieber, because he went face paralyzed.
I know, I feel so
And
bad.
I would just like to say that Justin Bieber did not cancel because of the outdated electrical system.
No.
He literally did the exact same show like a few months prior. So how could he do it in March, but then not in, when was it supposed to be, June? I don't really remember.
Yeah.
May, something like that.
Right. Exactly.
So anyways, long story short, don't shit upon our intelligence. It had nothing to do with the electrical bit.
Yeah. Exactly.
Yes. So anyways.
New Kids didn't say it was because of that. This is just their fans trying to defend them, being like, it's because of this. And I'm sure also, and not to whatever shit upon Americans, but I'm sure that these are Americans who fucking live in the South and think that Canada is a fucking, everyone lives in an igloo, you know,
Yeah.
Well, mine's
they're probably just oh, Canada, they probably don't even have electricity. You know.
That's,
we rub two caribous together and hope for the best.
So anyways, long story short, if
This
you're
is
not
Bieber.
from Canada or whatever, Scotiabank Arena is in tip-top shape.
Yeah.
The Leafs play there, the Raptors play there. Lots of electrical is used there.
Yeah.
Everything is fine.
Yeah. We have Niagara Falls, the biggest natural electricity generator on the planet. So suck it.
All right.
Okay.
So
Also, we literally just saying this. I'm pretty sure, we went to see the concert at the KeyBank Arena in Buffalo. And I would just like to say that Scotiabank Arena is larger, newer, and more technologically advanced than that venue. So
yeah. Mm-hmm. Now, I do need to give New Kids kudos because they definitely did a lot of confetti. Because normally at a concert, the confetti is maybe just at the end, and then obviously when the big, I've come back for an encore, this surprise thing that no one knew was going to happen, they do the confetti.
Yeah.
The Backstreet Boys one we went to in Toronto had some weird ass confetti.
They threw glue at you.
It was like plastic.
Yeah, it was very itchy for some reason.
Someone said that a lot of the venues have that. and that it's biodegradable, and so like it's their effort of these venues, it's their effort to be like more environmentally conscious, to not let this like regular tissue paper or confetti go all over the place.
But they still put out the long ones, like.
And I would just like to say that it was like 50% regular confetti, 50% this weird plasticky shit
that like got up my nose and my lungs, and I was like, okay.
I don't know. I just felt like very itchy too for some reason. I don't know.
Asbestos for everyone.
Pretty much. But anyway, so New Kids, there was a lot of explosions throughout. They just
That's fun.
Different colored confetti, different types of streamers and things like that. So
Sure.
all right.
For scrapbooking.
Alrighty, so we get to our seats and stuff. So that starts. So Diane and I also in the past have made a mistake about New Kids, because like when New Kids first came back, approximately what, like 10-ish years ago.
It was 2008. So
okay,
it's been a while.
Really? So like so like 14-ish years ago. It was like the traditional like thing where somebody opened. In fact, I believe Lady Gaga opened for them when they first.
The first one, yeah.
And then they would do their show by themselves. But they have said over the years, like, hey, you know, we're older, we get tired. They're all in their 50s, so they're a little more tired and stuff like that. So they do break it up. And I don't know if was it the NKOTB SB tour when they first started doing that, or did they do Mixtape before that?
No. And even right after, NKOTB obviously was alternating, I think because they were like, we don't want to give one band top billing over the other. This is the NKOTB SB tour. It's not New Kids featuring Backstreet Boys or Backstreet Boys featuring New Kids.
Yeah.
New Kids and Backstreet Boys equal. So they were like, we'll alternate.
So good.
And then the tour that I think they did right after that, which was the one they did with like Boys to Men and Paula Abdul or whatever.
Was that 98 Degrees as well?
I don't remember.
I believe so.
We went to it, you and I, but we still ended up missing New Kids because we decided
we misjudged the time.
Anyways, it doesn't matter. But they did, like, it was like Paula Abdul, Boys to Men, then New Kids. Like, it wasn't alternating back and forth. I do think because they had such like well-known, reputable like opening acts, the New Kids portion of the show was shorter than like, say, we just went to the DNA tour and it's a full 2 hours of Backstreet Boys.
Wow.
With just like a short 30-minute opening act ahead of time. This was like, I think all those opening acts got like slightly more time, and then the New Kids show was only like an hour and a half or something.
So the last few tours, whatever
the last couple of ones, they've done it this way.
So they'll like New Kids will start off, then it'll switch to another band, then New Kids will come back, then whatever, and it just kind of goes back and forth, and they finish all together with one song. So, all right, let's get to the.
To be fair, in their defense as well, I think that's how they get such well-known acts to tour with them, because if you're going to try to get, for example, Salt and Pepper or whatever, they're not going to want to just do a 30-minute set.
Yeah.
Right? Like, because they're like, well, we could tour on our own.
Yeah.
You know? So I think that's how they get some of these people. They're like, well, no, you're not just going to be, you know, an opening act that like, because then people aren't going to show up for it as well. Yeah. Right? Like, everybody knows if you're an opening act, there's a good chance that at least 50% of the venue isn't even going to be in their seats.
Yeah.
Because they don't care about you. Like, they came for a New Kids on the Block concert.
Yeah.
But the way that the New Kids do it, you kind of, I mean, obviously you don't have to stay in your seat, but you run the risk of like, if you leave when they're on, that you might miss some of New Kids.
Yeah.
Because you don't know exactly, like, you have to time it really well.
Right. Yeah. That makes sense.
But I was interested because when Sophia and I went to that one New Kids concert in Toronto, we're like, oh, was that our second time going? We were like, oh, we know this is going to be like the slow going. I couldn't remember who was in it.
Yeah, I think so.
And then we're like, oh, time to go to the bathroom when there's no lines. Like, it was great. It worked out for us. And then we came back and then snow was like, oh my God, we almost missed snow. Like,
yeah,
it was
good times.
Yes, it was good times. But anyway, so anyways, this is their format. So
do you want to share the tab?
The good part, I don't know. Do you want me to share the tab?
Maybe.
Or do you want me to just read it?
Both. Allow me to do both.
Okay.
Share screen.
Yes, thank you.
Did.
So anyways, they all kind of came out a few times. So it started out, the beauty of this style is that only hits are pretty much, there's not really too many deep cuts and stuff. So if you are a fan of deep cuts, that kind of sucks for you. But if you're like a casual fan or something, this is a fun, upbeat concert. Right?
Yeah, I think if I was like a hardcore blockhead, this might be annoying because then you only really hear the songs that you've heard a million times.
Right.
Versus like, wouldn't it be nice to hear some of the like, you know.
Which was kind of complaint with the NKOTB as well, because they only had like half a concert. That's there wasn't as many of like, I don't know, Don't Want to Lose You Now or whatever. That was my beef with the Backstreet Boys Vegas show in general. I was like, this is not, it's all just like, these are our hits and that's it. You know?
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, because I think they almost even said like this is more for the nostalgia fans.
They pretty much eventually said like we had to make a show that was like, you know, what's the word that I'm thinking of? That was like, marketable to a not just for fans, because people are going to get comped tickets to this.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
The casino guys. There's going to be like the tired people with wearing their fanny packs.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, you know.
Yeah.
Grandpas with the bad knees.
That are just going to like go to the show because they're in Vegas, not go to Vegas to see the Backstreet Boys. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
Yeah.
And so it has to be a show that's palatable to all audiences.
Exactly.
And so you're not going to perform songs that nobody's heard of except for your like hardcore fans.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not
in their defense, it worked. Like,
it was a good show.
They
like
actually garnered like a lot more fans that they didn't have prior to Vegas.
See,
or had people at least come back that were like fans in the 90s, and then we're like, oh my god, we're going to Vegas and the Backstreet Boys are playing. Let's go. And then they were like, wow, and then they kind of like came back for the DNA shows. The DNA shows have definitely been the largest shows that they've played in a while.
Yeah. I couldn't agree.
So,
yes,
the Vegas thing definitely worked out for them.
Oh, for sure.
But it wasn't a show for like the ride or dies, is all I'm saying.
Yeah.
It was more like a I don't know, like a I was gonna say like a dick wagging piece, but I feel like there's a nicer thing. Ego piece, like, you know, as a you know, performer, you're like, I made it. I had a Las Vegas residency, you know?
Well, and back in the day, a Las Vegas residency was like, you're old and now you're stuck in Vegas. But I feel like Vegas.
Isn't that what Justin Timberlake said though recently? That he's not at the point in his career to do a Vegas residency, and, you know, he's not going to retire yet, and blah, blah, blah. I'm like,
that guy's getting canceled.
All right,
they're khaki pants. With,
he looked like yikes, man.
Anyways, I digress. Okay, moving on back to the set list. So New Kids on the Block started with Block Party.
Welcome to the Block Party. Love that song.
I would just like to say,
yes,
it should be
that new kids are smart. When you have a song that says "Welcome to the Block Party," that song should be played first. If you play any other song before that song, you're stupid. That should be the first song at every single concert that New Kids ever does.
Yeah.
Unlike certain people who have songs where they might say things like Backstreet's back, and then they just put that in the middle of a show where it makes zero sense. Instead of putting it in the encore, which is where it should be at all times.
Now come back.
At minimum, maybe you could put it first, because it's like, oh, we're back in your city or whatever.
Yes.
True.
Yeah.
But you shouldn't just randomly place it in the middle of a show. It makes no sense.
I agree.
It's like, we were already here on stage, but now we're back.
Like toilet break.
The lights dimmed for 5 seconds, and now we're back. Like, okay.
Yeah, back from what? Nothing.
Yes. Yeah, you're right.
So, wouldn't it be stupid if like number 7 was Block Party, and you're like, we've already been here for 6 songs. What are you welcoming to?
The guy from the toilet, welcome.
True. So I think that's again, as Diane says, very powerful, good start to
love Block Party. Oh, I just want to rip my clothes off and dance.
It's
a good song.
We're like
We're
Lydia.
thinking of you. We're like, oh, Lydia would be jumping out of her seat right now.
It's true. It's true. Oh my god. I'm sorry I couldn't go because I'm bored. I'm sorry.
You were at Anime North.
I was at Anime North. That also, yeah, I was at Anime North. I got a really bad sunburn, by the way. Look at this.
Oh
Okay.
no!
It
Ouch.
Okay, never mind. Yeah, okay.
It was
In
bad.
real life, it hurts. But anyways,
Yes.
continue.
Excellent. Okay, so next is My Favorite Girl. Do you remember that song?
My favorite girl. Oh, something like that.
Oh, you're my favorite,
Favorite
girl.
girl. Yeah.
It's not my favorite song, but
What?
It's an okay song.
it's an okay song. Diane, do you like that song? I don't know.
Not really.
Yeah, it's not my favorite.
Ah.
So next is one of my favorites is Dirty Dancing,
Oh,
That's a good one too.
because I always do the
Oh, I
fucking
love
Dirty
this
Dancing song. Dirty Dancing.
Do they do that? Do they do
Yes.
that dance?
They did the dance with
Okay,
the
good.
hands. They had the flames coming up.
Woo!
Yeah. Ooh, she's like baby.
Very nice.
I like Swayze.
Easy. That's a good song.
It's so
Turn
crazy.
it up now.
Yeah.
Fire.
Excellent song. Love it.
Mhm.
Then the next song, Summertime. Do you remember
Think
that one?
about you in the
In the
summertime.
summertime.
Whoa.
Makes me crazy.
That's the one.
Like
Yeah.
called at 10 o'clock. Oh my gosh. Like it's like reminiscing about when they were young and would go to like, I don't know, Atlantic
In the
City.
summer,
The
when they would
summertime
make
at the
memories in the summer.
Oh,
Yes.
I
in the
just know.
summertime.
I only know the
Summertime.
chorus part. Okay,
Yeah. So
but that's a
It's a
good.
good one.
I think Summertime is the song that they came back with in 2008, no?
Yes.
Like this was their
Yeah.
Yes.
that was their first single, their comeback, and it was supposed to be like, oh, we think about you every summer when we used to like have fun together and all this stuff because they would be touring.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it was supposed to be like, oh, and now we're back.
Yes.
beautiful. Good meanings. Good
Some
song.
good memories there.
Then was Covergirl.
You're my,
My cover girl.
yeah, that's the one. Yeah.
It's like it's cute. And do they go into the crowd in this one? I can't remember.
Do they ever?
Yeah, they do.
Ooh.
And
It's
it has a lot of clapping, like the
yeah,
fast
it's
clapping and
somewhere
stuff.
around there. I think between Summertime and Covergirl is when they did the little like
They came and took like pictures with people, I believe.
they don't do a lot of like talking to the crowd. There's not a lot of like, oh, here's our very rehearsed jokes that we say every night. Like
They're not like the Backstreet Boys.
Yes.
But
Which is
I
good.
will
It's
say,
okay. It's okay.
it's annoying to people who go to multiple shows like in a row, but I think for people who don't do that, I know that I always appreciate that because you have no way of knowing what they said the night before and what they're going to say. And like, sure, it's probably the same thing, but it's just nice to hear. I like that. Like, I'm going to acknowledge the people who came out to the show and are in the crowd versus just like, I'm here to perform. I will not say anything that's not in the form of singing a song.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
then
That's
you
fair.
will watch me and then I will leave. You know,
Yeah.
not that, okay, I'm not also saying new kids do that. New kids do a lot of other shit, but they didn't do a ton of like talking to the grand crowd, you know?
Donnie did acknowledge like, oh, but you know, like, hey, we're in Buffalo, whatever. But then they also acknowledged Canada.
I was going to say, I believe it was at this part that he did the like,
Buffalo, they're like, we're like Canada. Everyone's like, whoa! Like, I don't, maybe we were just in a Canada section. I don't know, but it was very loud. Also could have been us cheering loudly. I don't know, but I think
Maybe
they
a combination.
Canada like twice, and then they had Buffalo like 3 times. But at this point, they said, "Oh, yeah, something like sorry we couldn't make it to Canada or something." But it was just like a very quick kind of thing. So yeah, so that was good. Anyways, that song's catchy. I think it's cute. Then of course, You Got It, The Right Stuff.
That's a fun one.
Got the little dance going on there. And then the last song of this first set was The Whisper. Can't stop the whisper. That's from,
is that on the album 10?
It's on album 10, yes. And then they broke into Shout.
You know, you make me want
to shout. Okay.
Right? And then they broke into Shots.
Shut.
Shut. That one?
there's a lot of these like, cover medley situations.
And then, so it was kind of like a bunch of that. So, what does this say? This says B stage, doesn't it?
Yeah.
In audience B stage. So, so then they ran over to the B stage to do that. So I think so around there. So okay, so then lights
the B
dim.
stage, the bells.
The B stage is the one at the back. So it's like the small.
There's
it's just
two?
like a square.
Oh,
So
wow.
I think actually after they did the right stuff, they do this little speech where they're like, "Oh, we missed you so much," and then everybody's screaming. And then they're like, Donnie said something along the lines of like, "Oh, we know we have a lot of friends from north of the border here too. You know, we wish we could have like, you know, whatever." And then he was like, "Oh, you know, but if we missed you so much and you missed us so much, then we think we should be out there with you." And then they they run down the floor. So like there's 2 aisles obviously on each side of the floor, and they like split up and they kind of like go through the crowd and like shake people's hands and take selfies and things. And then they end up on this like B stage that's at the back of the floor.
That's nice.
So then that's there. So everybody's focus is there, and then it cuts to black.
It's kind of like the Jonas Brothers.
Yes.
The way they did it, yeah.
And like
Except
the stage is changing.
For the Jonas Brother one, they actually had a barricade straight down the middle. So they just ran. The New Kids actually kind of go into the crowd. So yes, they have their security with them and stuff. But
so is this like a decoy because something they're
so that now on the main stage, and Vogue came out. So then their first song was "My Lovin', You're Never Gonna Get It." Never gonna get it.
Never gonna get it. Never gonna get it.
Okay.
And then their second song was "Free Your Mind, the Rest Will Follow."
Hello. Yeah.
No idea.
A classic one.
If you heard it, you would have known the song.
Okay.
Free
You'd be
your
like,
mind. Yeah, I think you have to hear it and then it will trigger your memory.
And if I'm not mistaken, there's 3 members of En Vogue, and they did costume changes every time, and they had very like stylish outfits all the time. So,
and one of them had a broken or something foot that Shinzia did not realize
I did not
the
notice
end of the
it.
cut. She's like, "Did she have this cast the whole time?" I'm like, "Yes."
And I was like, well, because they were wearing like knee-high boots or whatever. So, and the walking cast was black, so it looked like I don't know.
It blended into the other shoe?
I'm also short, and we were sitting far away, so most of the camera work was more like knees up, so I didn't see that. So it wasn't until the very end I'm like, "What the fuck's wrong with her leg?" And Diane's like, "It's been like that the whole time." I'm like, "Are you sure?" She's like, "Yes." I think she just got a walking cast in the middle of the concert. I'm like,
This will be hilarious.
I don't know what's going on backstage.
Part of the show.
So, in conclusion, I'm very observant on
Clearly.
things, so yes. All right. So then are on the B stage. So then they finished on the main stage, and the B stage, Rick Astley came out.
Yes. What?
And he came out.
So did he just sing one song or? Oh, okay.
Together forever with you.
Okay.
I'm like, oh, he sings this song too. I was like, okay, so that was pretty catchy. And then it would take a strong, strong man. Did you know this song, Diane?
No,
I did not know this song either. So here's the thing about the New Kids mixtape concerts is that they bring all the 80s bands.
Yeah.
So we were born in the 80s, so 82 and 85 for you guys. So we were not really listening to the music of that time period. So that's why we're into more like the Backstreet Boys and Sync, all that stuff in the 90s.
To be fair, even if we were, our mother made us listen to oldies 1150.
Yes, so we're very into oldies and stuff.
You know,
so I didn't know a lot, but obviously this was some big. Did they try to trick us and play a little bit of "Never Gonna Give You Up" at this point?
No, they did not.
No, they did not. No. Okay.
To be fair, my mother was like, "Who was that other guy that was performing?" I'm like, "That was Rick Astley." She's like, "Oh, I know who Rick Astley is." And I'm like, "And yet you didn't recognize the song, like the Never Gonna Give You Up?" And she's like, "No, I recognize the song. I just didn't realize he sang it." I'm like, "Okay, so I don't know if..."
So
your mom's rickrolling you.
Yes. So
apparently.
the thing they were like 1987-ish was when they kept saying 1987. So I don't know if that was when all these people, their hits, I don't know. But anyways, you guys would have been
2 years old.
2 years old, and I would have been 5. So anyway, so then so he's done on the B stage, and we're back to the main stage now. So it's New Kids on the Block again. So they do kind of a medley. You would have loved this. This was a good medley. So it was like House Party. I don't remember that song.
I think that's a newer one that they came out with for this tour.
Then it says New Kids on the Block. Hold On. That wasn't Wilson Phillips, Hold On, right? It was one of their songs, I'm assuming.
I don't remember.
Full Service.
Yes.
Full Service is good.
Then, so in your honor, I yelled out, "Show us your way!"
Good, very good.
Yes,
Thank
so there
you.
you go. So
Thank
got
you.
That. Then Return of the Mac.
Yeah.
And then Call It What You Want It. See, like this, I feel like I knew some of the words, but then I was confused, and then I don't know. So anyway, so that was that. But yeah, Full Service.
Love Full Service.
A plus.
Yeah.
It's a good one. Full
Such good
Service.
Then they did Sweet Dreams Are Made of These.
That's a
Sweet Dreams are
Are
made.
made of these.
right?
That's a classic.
And then Twisted. I didn't know that one.
No clue.
Okay. And then they did Remix.
I
I like the remix, baby. Oh.
Maybe they came back with this song. No, it was
So the
Summertime.
remix came out afterwards
Yeah,
because
you're
they
right,
were
you're
already
right.
back. Because I remember they were looking for people to be in the video. and
Yes,
stuff like
you're
that.
right. Never mind.
Okay, so that was the next New Kids part. So now we got Salt and Peppa. So they came out. There is 2 of them, obviously. So None of Your Business.
Oh, it's none of your business.
Yes.
That's a good one.
Yep. Expression.
Don't know.
Expression. Maybe.
Do you know that
Do
song?
you know the song?
I don't know. Maybe. I
Okay.
feel like I have to hear it.
Probably. Then Let's Talk
talk
About
about
Sex,
sex,
Baby.
baby.
Let's
Yeah, I know that
talk
one.
about you and me.
That's a good
Let's
one.
talk about all the good things and the bad things.
I don't remember all of it. Yeah.
Yes. Shake Your Thing. I
No
feel like a
clue.
lot of people knew that song.
Yeah.
And then What a Man, What a Man, What a Man.
What a good man.
Okay,
Yeah, I know that one.
so fun fact. So Salt and Peppa have opened for New Kids before.
They were on the last mixtape.
They
tour.
were on the, and I feel like I had this thought last time, and then I realized I was an idiot. So I thought the words were, "What a man, what 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 a honey-filled man,
Honey-filled.
honey-filled man." And I was like,
Is it
okay,
beekeeper? What
I
the
don't
hell
know. I
is
was
this?
like, he's sweet, I guess. He's honey-filled. I
Winnie
was
the
like,
Pooh?
okay. And then I was like, oh, they're not saying honey-filled, they're saying money-filled. And I was like, okay, because he's
No.
like a rich guy. Whatever. No, they're not saying either of those
I was
things.
gonna say,
They're
okay.
saying no, they're not
Mighty
saying-
good man.
Mighty.
good man.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
So mighty good is
Correct.
the actual.
Yes.
This was
Honey-filled
the conversation
is
we had driving home from the concert.
Oh my God, you're so cute.
Honey-filled man. It sounds like honey-filled.
That's what she was singing. And I'm like, I'm sorry, did you just say honey-filled man? And she's like, yes. But she's like, then I realized that wasn't the words. I thought this whole time it was honey-filled, but now I realize it's money-filled. I'm like, it's neither of those things.
Yeah, it's so
well,
cute.
you know what? It should be.
That's
I
funny.
feel like that'd be a good parody song for like Winnie the Pooh.
Yeah.
Oh, there you go.
There you go.
Honey-filled man. Yes. Anyway, so that is not their song. That
Okay.
is not it. So,
All
all
right.
right. Moving along. Next, we moved over to En Vogue with Don't Let Go.
I think they actually come out and sing with Salt and Pepper for
Yes.
What a Man.
Ah.
Yes, that's right. They do. So they're out on stage, and then it goes into this Don't Let Go.
Okay.
And then the New Kids come back out, and they are now on the B stage.
Ah.
So we see them kind of like sneak in from underneath. And they have Please Don't Go Girl,
Oh no.
which is Sophia's favorite
I'm
song.
pretty sure just Joey McIntyre comes
Just
out
Joey came out
Oh,
from
at first, and then he's like singing away, and then the rest
And
of them
there's this
eventually
like,
join.
You
so
didn't fall asleep during this?
the B stage
Please
is
don't
a,
go.
is a square. So it almost looks like a ring, if you will.
Okay.
And then it had this like microphone that came down, like one of those old timey
Yeah,
ones.
like those.
So he like grabs, he's like a wrestling thing, but also please don't go, girl. And it's just
yeah.
like, oh
he,
God.
he loves that.
I
song.
know, and don't hate me, New Kids fans. I know Joey girls fucking love this song,
I know. It's
but
cute.
he likes to like
Embellish?
make it as dramatic as possible.
It's too
And
much. I don't know. It's
Please
too
don't
much.
go.
Yeah, he does. He does.
We're just like, okay, finish the song.
I felt like it was shorter than it's been in the past, but it was also
Okay,
And
that's good.
for the girls in the B stage, this was very well because he was singing to them along the B
Yeah,
stage and
okay.
stuff.
Yes,
It
for
was kind
sure.
of like what I thought was interesting about the B stage is that because there's like the seating over here and then there's the floor seats here and stuff. They actually kind of like make an effort to kind of go all the way around. Whereas on the main stage, they're kind of just coming out, right? And whatever. So the B, they're trying to like get a lot of connections.
That's good. That's good.
So Joey was out there doing his song. And then they came, the rest of the guys came and they sang games. Games. Oh, it's not one of my favorites.
Okay.
But you know what is one of my favorites? Tonight.
La 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 tonight.
That's a good one, yeah.
It's a catchy song. It's lovely. And what they do in this song is they come back into the crowd.
Oh, okay. That's nice.
No benefit to us because we were up high, but for the people on the ground, then they have like boxes kind of like around so they can stand and be slightly elevated.
Ooh.
So then they like were in the crowd and singing to people and stuff like that.
Nice. Cute.
I feel like in the past at some other previous concerts, this is where the boys kind of get molested because they made some sort of comments recently on Twitter. Like Jonathan made one other ones where like, you know, don't touch people's junk or bums.
Yeah.
And like, you know, it's kind of inappropriate. So like, just because they're there, I know you're overwhelmed with emotion.
Yeah.
Do not violate these people. They're fair. But anyways, that went well. So that was good. So they do that. And then they kind of make their way back to the main stage at this point.
Okay.
So then they did another like medley of songs. So Girls Just Want to Have Fun.
Girls just want
that is
fun.
that
Cyndi Lauper.
okay.
They did that. I think they might have. No, she did not come. Poison.
Yeah.
Ooh, I want you to dance with somebody.
Yeah.
Somebody who loves me. And pour some sugar on me. In the name of love. And then, of course, Living on a Prayer. Whoa.
That's a good one.
Halfway.
That's a fun. Those are some fun ones.
Living on a prayer.
So yeah. So for a second, I'm just like, but that's a different prayer.
Like a prayer.
I think ours was actually slightly different because I don't think they did Pour Some Sugar on Me. I thought they did Thunderstruck. They did AC/DC.
Oh, you're right. Yes.
Instead of Pour Some Sugar on Me.
Okay, so I guess this portion is let's sing some songs from the 80s that people like. So,
okay, fair enough.
Yeah, so yeah, you're right. Now that you say that, I don't think they did Pour Some. Yeah, Thunderstruck. TNT. Is it that one?
Mm-hmm.
Dynamite, yes. And then Sweet Caroline.
Ba, ba, ba.
No, that's not Thunderstruck. Maybe not. I don't know.
Dynamite. I have no idea.
I was born in the middle of the railroad tracks. Thunder. That's that one.
Oh, yes. Okay. I always get that one mixed up with that other Thunder song that came out more recently. Thunder. Hear the thunder.
You hated that song.
Anyways, it's not that song, but anyways, yes. So anyways, if anyone went to the Buffalo show and could recall what the medley songs were, I think Diane's right.
I think it's all the same, but I don't think it was Pour Some Sugar on Me. I think it was Thunderstruck.
Okay. They did a little improv.
Who knows, man? Switch it up. And then Sweet Caroline. Did they do that?
Yes.
Yes. So then everyone was like, oh, Caroline.
Yeah, they did that whole thing.
That's fun.
They did.
And then I believe right after that, then they're like, oh, can you sing one more 80s song? Oh, and then we're like, no. And then they're like,
here's Rick Astley. And I think they started singing with him, but I don't.
No, they didn't. They just went away, and then he did this one alone.
On the main stage. So I'm like, oh, you're never
for this song.
And then I was just like, oh, I thought this was the encore. I was like, okay, whatever. So then everyone's like singing along to Never Gonna Give You Up, and it has the video playing in the background.
Yes.
I was like, oh, like I can see the similar, like obviously he's much older than he was, but I'm like, okay, I can see, whatever. So it was good. And then he did this other song called Cry for Help, which I did not know.
No clue.
No, I didn't.
So then Salt and Peppa came back out, and then they did Shoop.
I believe Donnie comes out during that as well.
Yes. Is this where they're changing?
In one possibly
because New Kids do this like backstage changing camp.
No, that's up. That's earlier.
Was that with What a Man? Maybe might have been there.
No, I don't know.
It's not this late. That's way late in the show. It's not. It's up there when Salt and Pepper were on the stage the earlier time.
Do you have you been to a New Kids show?
I went to NKOTB SB.
Okay.
And I think I went with one with Sophia, didn't I?
Yeah, the one with 90 degrees.
Okay. Yeah, I think you're right. Yeah.
Okay, so you do know they do the changing thing. So Donnie was always shirtless.
I don't remember that.
They have this.
They have like a change cam.
Okay.
So you just see them. There's no dicks. They always have pants on.
They always have pants on. John always has like 15 layers of clothing.
Yeah, he doesn't want to show
You're not gonna
nothing.
see any skin, and he'll be hiding in a corner. or
Oh my
something.
God.
So they have two cameras, and then Donnie's on one, and then I think Jordan and
Danny are on the other one.
yes, Danny
Jorel?
also likes to get naked as well. But
Ooh.
And then, but no, not ooh, no. No, he's
Makes
the one. He's the woodworks one. He's the cooking one.
Oh.
You don't
he's
like that
got
one.
muscles.
He's
got
fit. He's very fit,
muscles.
yes. So anyway, so they do that.
I like Donnie Wahlberg.
Yes, Donnie.
Yes, and you always think his name is Danny, and you're like, ooh, and then you're like, wait, no.
No,
And then you got them confused.
all
Yeah.
the time. All the time.
Oh, Leah.
All right, number 29.
Okay. So, sorry. So then we're at New Kids. Baby, I Believe in You. Why do I not remember that?
Because this is when it's just Jordan on stage, and he kind of does all three of these songs solo up in his little thing. The rest of them eventually come out, and they're like down there, like doing a little like
crooning and stuff like that. Like,
Okay,
yes,
he's in there.
And then Shinzeo was upset because they all had pink jackets. And
gross.
Except for randomly Joey had a white one. She's like, why does Joey get the white one?
I'm like, he's not even singing the solos in this. Jordan's singing the solo. So like, why does he have a white jacket? Everybody else has pink. And they're like, can't they just match? And Diane's like, let it go. And I was like, okay.
Also, good point.
So,
yes.
Anyway, so
yeah.
So I think the first one, he's like in this little, it's just him and his shirt is open and it's like blowing in the wind. There's like a fan blowing at him. If you were a Jordan Knight fan, it would be, I was like, oh, if I thought Jordan was attractive, this would be really something.
So.
And then I think the rest of them come out. They do a little medley there. That's when he comes and he like puts the jacket on and they're walking around, and then he does the "I'll be loving you forever" thing.
Yes. So yeah. So in between that, Didn't I Blow Your Mind? This time, Valentine Girl, and If You Go Away. So those are all slow songs.
Yeah. I'm like, I don't
Yes, this is the slow song section.
Didn't I? Oh, didn't I blow your mind this time? No.
No.
And then You're My Valentine Girl.
No clue about that one either. Sorry.
If you go away, girl.
Yeah, now it's ringing a bell.
And then I'll be loving
You forever. Yeah. Okay.
So
yeah. Okay.
that's a very slow section. of stuff. So then En Vogue comes out and they do Hold On, which is not the Wilson Phillips song. It's a different.
I was gonna say that's.
I know. It's like.
Which I don't remember. I think they had silver sparkly dresses at this point. Or no, this might have been the red ones. Anyways, they had nice outfits.
Okay.
And then next was New Kids on the Block, Step by Step.
Step by
step. Ooh, baby.
They did not sing their steps. The crowd had to sing the steps. So we're like,
Okay.
all right.
Well, I mean, they know what it is.
And then
crowd participation.
They said
is
they would
good.
go step 1, and then they would go like this, and you had to sing, and then they would go step 2, and then you had to.
Yes.
So
That's good. Crowd participation is good.
yeah, exactly.
Love it. Love it. It's
And
true.
then it's Salt and Peppa came out with Push It.
Push it.
Push it. Good.
Yeah, we know that one.
They got some dance moves. They had nice outfits too, actually. It was good. And then New Kids came out with Hangin' Tough.
Hanging tough.
Do you remember we had a cassette of Hangin' Tough, and I remember in particular we were camping out. That's the one. Yeah, we're camping out a bunch of music, and we had the Fisher Price tape recorder, and like that was the song. That we only had like one thing, so we kept rewinding and playing that song until the morning. And people were like, "Shut up!" And I'm like, "Hangin' Tough." I'm like, freaking out.
Was that for the MMVAs?
I don't know. We camped out much music all the
We
time.
did camp out.
I don't know why.
Good old Fisher Price tape recorder.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
Yes. / We Will Rock You.
You're like, I don't know. There's no other song.
All right. So another thing that New Kids does each mix tour is that they announce the tour with all the bands, and they announced a new song that is with all these bands. For this particular tour, Bring Back the Time was the song. Bring back the time. You should. It's a fun video. There's lots of things.
Okay.
It's like all of these. So Rick Astley, Salt and Peppa, and Vogue, New Kids. They all kind of sing in parts of this song.
Okay.
So that was good. So they're all up on stage.
Cute.
And then they finished off again with Never Gonna Give You Up. So Never Gonna Give You Up was on twice. So
yeah.
But this time they were all kind of singing along with it too. So yes, all in all, good show. Jolly good show.
Damn good, jolly good, jam good show.
Sounds like a fun show.
Yes, it was. Surprisingly pretty easy to leave afterwards compared to the last few shows we've gone to. I think there were less people, obviously. And then it was also raining as we left as well. I was like, why does every concert end with rain? We're like, son of a bitch.
New beginnings, right?
So the beauty of the KeyBank Arena is that it's actually pretty close to the Canadian border. So we're like, score, we only have to be here for like 10 minutes till we get to the border. And this one, we were stuck there for a little bit, but not too long. Because
maybe like 20 25 minutes.
Not like the hour when we were at the other show. But did not know there's dynamic pricing at the borders now.
Oh, boo.
So all of the borders used to all be the same price. I think it was like around $5. So when we came back from
it wasn't always $5. $5 was like the inflated price. I remember it being like $2.
Yes, they'd be like an American price, Canadian price, blah blah blah.
Why do you have to pay to cross the border?
It wasn't even back in my day. It was like 2 years ago or 3 years ago, pre-COVID.
When we came back from Backstreet Boys, we did the Queenston-Lewiston Bridge, and it was $5.50. We're like, oh, okay, it's gone up like 50 cents. We're like, whatever. Da, da, da. We get to this friggin' Fort Erie Peace Bridge there, $10.25.
Yeah.
Wow.
How are you almost?
I thought it was a joke, to be honest. Like I was like, that has to be like they must have like that's a mistake.
I was looking and it said like
April Fools.
10.25C, and I was like, what does that even mean? Like, what is that a code for? And then it said /US8, and I was like, that's the amount of money? I was like, what the hell? But if you have an Easy Pass, it's only $4 American. So I was like,
an Easy Pass.
I was like, and I'm
Every
pretty sure you can only
membership
get the Easy Pass in New York, so New York State. So I was like, what the fuck? So I was very aggravated by this.
No, but if you have Nexus, you have an Easy Pass. That's what it is.
Oh, what? Really?
I don't think so.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure. I'm pretty sure if you're Nexus, you can go through there.
Maybe we should all get our Nexus card.
Maybe it's been COVID for 2 years. Relax.
True. That's very true.
Maybe I don't want the Americans to know my fingerprints in case I want to commit crimes.
So
maybe don't say that on the podcast.
I might have to commit crimes. Okay. But I want the option to be open.
This is why I'm bitter, because I applied for a Nexus and everybody, but if you have a Nexus Pass, everybody in your car needs to also have the Nexus Pass or you can't use the line.
No.
So I was like, okay, I'm like, hey guys, I'm gonna do it. So I paid my $50 American. I was like, okay, I gotta go get the picture taken. We can all do this together. We'll all go together. And I was like, yeah, that's fine. Oh,
I never said yeah.
Oh, whatever. And then finally they're like, yeah, we should really go do that. And then COVID happened. And I was like, so I did not get my Nexus.
You have to get interviewed by FBI agents.
Okay, listen. Michael did it. He said it's very easy, but they also do like an eyeball scan. And
everyone I know who's done it said it's not that bad. Like it's not like they're shining a light in your eye. Like,
what are you doing? Like
they're like they just want to make sure you're not crazy.
And then just take your pictures and stuff like that. So I feel like
and a vial of blood.
Okay,
and a urine sample.
I don't think they're doing that. They're just doing your eyes.
I didn't hear anything about a blood sample or urine sample.
Right.
But literally every single person I know who applied for it passed, except for Carrie Gray.
Why?
So Carrie used to be one of our announcers on Y108. He sadly passed away a few years ago. But he lived in Buffalo and worked in Hamilton, Ontario, Canada.
Travel all the time.
So he would have to cross the border every single day to go to work until he married a listener, but that's a whole nother story. So anyways, but he was terrible. Like he was a terrible driver. This man would read the newspaper while driving on a highway.
Oh, wow.
Like, at one point his trunk wasn't closing, so he used a bungee cord to put it onto his license plate to keep and then his license plate like cracked in
wow.
half. He was also a little into the ganja, if you will.
Yeah.
So I don't think so. There was like a whole bunch of reasons why he did not pass. He was also just seemed like a crazy, sketchy character. He was.
I see.
Love him to death. He was a wonderful guy, but yeah. The governments did not decide to give him a Nexus pass, so he had to wait in line. So sometimes, if he was like, he would obviously cross at like 3:00 in the morning, so it wasn't a big deal. But sometimes he might be late for work because he's stuck at the border or whatever like that because he didn't have a Nexus.
What an inconvenience!
Yes.
Sucks.
Then he finally ended up getting a place in thing, and then anyways, long story long. But anyways, yes. So anyways, that might be a project.
So you guys enjoyed yourselves?
For the most part, I feel like it was pretty good. Obviously, like if we compared it to like the Backstreet Boys concert that we went to, we like that one a lot better. But I feel like they put on a good show. New Kids, they all worked really hard. I thought it was a really good show, and it's a bummer that more Canadians couldn't see it because they didn't come. But next year I'm sure, because I believe they pretty much do a mixtape tour every year. Like obviously minus COVID times, but I feel like this is
they don't always call it mixtape, but whatever.
Yeah, sometimes they'll call it something else or like whatever. But
record player.
No, they had one called, I think, didn't they call one the full service tour? They called one like
something like that.
They always have weird names for them.
Okay.
Yeah, no, they're very good shows. They do well. Good stage production.
Good presence, good performance.
Good, yes.
So you know what you're gonna get, basically.
Yeah.
Every time. It's always pretty much the same thing, which is good and bad. Bad if you see it a lot because you're like, oh, I wish they would do something different, but also good in that it's consistent every time.
Yeah. Like it's like a chocolate cupcake. You're like, this is good. I mean, could it be better? Yes, but I know that I'm gonna have a good time regardless.
Yes. You're not going to turn it down.
Never. No, it's chocolate cupcake. Oh my God. Yeah, exactly. See?
That's a good analogy.
Thank you, Soph.
Yes. So there you go.
Shall we wrap up then?
Sure.
Thanks for taking a break with us, guys.
Until next time.
Thanks for listening.
Bye.